maker?
It's just me, I think, speaking.
Okay, cool. I'll give it another minute, and then we can start the record and introduce you, and we can go into the whale maker project.
Okay.
Yeah, and as always, guys, we're gonna live chat in a minute here as Glenn gets started, and we'll post all the socials there in case you guys are not familiar with Whalemaker. We'll have all the official links in our main chat, so you can read through it as we're going along. And yeah, as always, towards the second half of the AMA, if you have questions, make sure to raise your hands, and we always take some questions from the audience, so don't be shy.
Okay, well, if you're ready, I'll start the recording. Introduce you.
I'm ready.
Okay, great. Okay, good afternoon to the Whalecoin Talk community. Today we have an AMA to speak about whale. Whalemaker is the first crypto fund on the Brise chain. Whalemaker is a platform review as well, and also the pre-sale was on Sphinx Labs, and we've got the Whalemaker staking and tokenomics to go into, so that'll be there shortly. But first, can we go into the core team's background and experience in crypto white whale? That'd be great.
Yeah, sure. My experience about within the crypto space has been almost from the beginning. My financial background is much earlier than the crypto itself. My studies are in finance, derivatives, and banking management. I have been managing other people's portfolio in the real world, half fiat, half crypto. And well, the idea of the Whalemaker was born years ago. The implementation of the idea was a matter of time and availability and team building. Within this bear market, and given the strange situation we have been living the last 2 years worldwide, COVID gave me some extra time to think about it and implement the project as gratis on the Brise chain, to be honest, because I happened to join the Brise chain a few months ago. That's to start with.
Okay, and I was wondering why you chose the Brise chain compared
to be honest, it was more as a thank you to the community that has been supporting for a few months my channel, where I was giving like info or financial advice, let's say, just for free, just as a test. The Whalemaker was intended directly to be launched on the BSC, as it will happen in less than 48 hours from now, as we're going BSC this Friday, using a bridge powered by Sphinx Labs, which is our development team. So it was more or less a test launch on Brise chain, if I might say, for the main launch going on BSC, as I said, in 48 hours, and just 1 month after our main launch and 2 months ahead of our roadmap, the BSC launch.
And so you launched on the Brise chain about a month ago, was it? What's been happening for the first month?
Sorry, I lost you. I don't hear you very well. We launched a month ago. Yes, our pre-sale was on the 21st of May. It filled up within an hour. And the pair launched 36 hours ago or so for the trading with Brise WMF.
And yes, so for investors, can we go into the Whalemaker peer-to-peer set platform, how that works for investors?
Well, basically, the Whalemaker is more of a fund rather than a platform. The concept is very simple and very complicated at the same moment. A Whalemaker was made for the professionals, but also for the noobs or the new guys in the crypto. It's as simple as that. While you buy Whalemakers and you stake them in the pools, the fund pool, you get guaranteed ROI, return on investment of 15% in 45 days, at least in the first 1-2 rounds, payable in BRIZ or very soon in BNB. How that happens, it happens by a team of professional financiers, a real-life team, which they invest in either pre-sales, they do arbitrage, in the near future, liquidity farming, and any other financial tool they can use to create the profit for the investors. So it's quite simple as a meaning, and maybe partially too good to be true, and very complicated as a procedure to produce the actual profit.
Awesome. Yeah, I was going over the bit on the white paper. Investors worldwide can compare the performance of hundreds of successful cryptocurrency traders and mirror their trades automatically to their accounts. I'm wondering how it's going to work for the cryptocurrency traders. Will they charge fees or a subscription? And will you be betting cryptocurrency traders' past performances?
The investors are not being charged anything. The investors buy WMF, they stake it. We have a weekly report. We do all the work behind the scene. Either that is arbitrage or any kind of way to produce the monies. They are receiving an APR for staking rewards on a daily basis, and the last 48 hours of the 45 days fund pools, they will receive the full amount of the profit that we guarantee, plus the extra profit that we have managed to create in that time period. They are informed by weekly reports, which we are at exactly the half, 3 out of 6 weeks of the first run. And we have a performance of plus 25% versus the initial KPIs that we had set, which was roughly 81 billion BRIZ to be shared. We're now above 90 billion as an outlook of the profit fund, and we think that we will be able to even achieve 100 billion to distribute in profits. The same thing will start happening for the BSC chain, starting probably round 2 on BRIZ chain and BNB chain at around 10th of July. The value of the total amount staked is being calculated, and the equivalent of 15% is the start goal, the KPI set, and that amount is updated every week on how the fund is going, profit-wise, and distributed with exactly the same way.
I see. Yeah, we're talking here about the Whalemaker platform, where you review, analyze upcoming crypto projects, and generate a score, and then you invest in the best projects for the investment fund. And then, did you say the tokens are distributed depending on the amount of Whalemaker tokens you hold? Then,
correct. It is a percentage of the Whalemaker funds you are holding versus the price that they are pegged with. For example, if you were holding WMFs worth 10 billion BRIZ at the time of the launch, because that's crucial, we're talking about the time of the launch, because from then onwards, WMF price moves and BRIZ price moves, so does BNB. You will get 15% within 45 days after the fund pool round ends. Then your WMF, your profit is with you. You can decide what to do, join round 2, use your profit, sell your WMFs, increase your WMFs. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so your first investment has been on the BRIZ chain, and then did you say when you launch on the BSC, you're going to be picking projects on the BSC as well to invest in with the investment fund?
Correct, because this gratis launch or this test launch on BRIZ had its positives, because we have time to test the whole procedure, to gather community, to create the first initial fund. But on the other hand, it has a lot of limitations, given the fact that there aren't as many pre-sales or coins to invest in as there are in BSC. And also the amount of money is a problem, because currently, I don't know how many of the people listening are aware of the BRIZ chain or the BRIZ ecosystem. even an amount of like investing 5,000-10,000 worth of Breeze in any project would, well, actually move its price more than 5-7%, which is automatically creating an issue and a lot of movement, more movement than we would really want in order to be able to enter and exit positions easier. Of course, on the other hand, there are a lot of arbitrage opportunities between the different amount of exchanges that have Breeze listed, so this is good. But going BSC will allow the financial team, which is not currently very happy and excited, to be honest, in previous Amazon discussion also, because they are quite limited, right? And it's much harder to do their work. On BSC, it will be much, much easier because the more options you have, the more ways and better decision making can be made.
There'll be highly enrollment in the BSC. You look at crypto projects and generate a score. I was wondering how you sort of weigh the scores, and is that to 0 to 100, and what's involved? Are you looking at KYC and docs projects, and how does it sort of work? How you work out scores for each project that you look into that's going to launch?
Well, to be honest, in the current market situation, what we're looking for and how we score the projects, we haven't scored any kind of project, as we've only invested in 2 projects so far. We mainly look to see the main ingredients looking good. Main ingredients can be the team behind it, not being doxed or not doxed, to be honest, because, well, I don't want to comment on Luna or their doxed teams or other teams, but being doxed or undoxed is not the main factor. Having a solid team, a proper plan, a big community, because a lot of things are in terms of community in the crypto world. You can have a very, very low quality project, but on the other hand, if you have a hype or the community, it can be supported. And I do remind you, although it doesn't sound very nice, it sounds almost cynical or negative, that we are looking to enter and exit positions within days or weeks, right? We're not in the current phase, long-term holders or diamond hands. We are cynical. We are doing the job that the average investor is usually failing to do, meaning we click buy, but we also are able to click the sell button. We do not promise people, or we do not think like most people that you will find the coin, and if you buy this coin, then anyway, 10 years, you will be a billionaire. That's, for me and for our real life team, the biggest problem and catch in crypto. 9 out of 10 projects can promise you like the world, or they will build the next, or they're the next Apple or Tesla, I don't know what. That's why people usually lose their money. Something they never move, and that causes, in most cases, losses. We enter, we buy, we support as far as there is a good hype, and we exit because we have to deliver the profit.
That's fair enough. I mean, we're in a bit of a bear market, and in a bull market, projects don't necessarily last as long, because it's a real struggle in this sort of market. So you're protecting your investors and deciding when to buy and sell projects. And so how does the buy and sell tax break down? You've got some for the investment fund, and where does the rest of the buy and sell tax go?
Yep, our taxes are divided into 4 parts. One is for liquidity, on the sell tax at least, for liquidity pool. Another part is going to the fund, but it's not really actually building the fund. It's a buffer for the fund in case something goes wrong, we need a buffer to pay out profits or build up the fund. Another very small part goes to marketing. 1% goes to the Sphinx Labs because they are main dev team and tech team. and one part goes to the staking rewards. That's how our taxes are broken down, both BRC and BSC.
Okay, great. And the tokenomics allocation, I think it was 10% for the T. Is that a vested period over the next 12 months, or how does that work?
Please go again, Glenn. I'm hardly hearing you at half of the questions you have got.
Okay, sorry, yeah. I'm asking about the tokenomics allocation. I think 10% set aside for the team. Is that vested for a period into the future? How does it work? Will it be released over each quarter?
To be honest, we did the pre-sale with 35%, 40%. The rest of the coins are going to be used for going actually multi-chain, and only 10% will be kept for the team, which cannot be used before year one even for the team. So it's just there to be there. The coins we are holding are all will be used for the going multi-chain to BSC in the beginning, and some future plans for another chain the next months, always with the same supply, right? Just like now we're going BSC, we're sharing the existing supply with the use of a bridge created by, again, Sphinx, which will be released just the next few days so people can bridge over without any fee. And I repeat, same supply, the 500 million.
Okay, great. Yeah, Sphinx Labs is one of our partners as well, so it's great that you're working with them. They're a good team, good launchpad. But going into the audit of the smart contract, did you have one before or after launch on the Whalemaker project?
Sorry, once again, go again. I had to not hear you.
Yeah, I was just asking, about the audit on the Whalemaker contract, if you had one before or after launch.
The order.
Yeah, did you have a smart contract audit on the Whalemaker Unite Certic or Desert Finance?
I apologize. I don't hear anything apart from the word contract. I don't know if it's my issue or your microphone's issue. If we did what on the its contract is certic audit level, we are applying for that and we are under discussion. It was created by Lonzo and Sphinx Labs team. We are KYC and docs with Sphinx Labs team. I don't know if you asked something else because honestly, I'm having an issue hearing you. Again, apologies to everybody.
Right, sorry about that. Can you hear me okay, Acti, or Ladizzle, or is it not coming through?
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. Maybe I should mute the time you talk, because when I'm unmuted, I have an issue. Sorry.
Right, yeah, I can hear some background noise. So I don't know. Yeah, it's feedback off that. But yeah, and what's the marketing plans going forward for Whalemaker? How are you attracting investors to new and experienced investors to get involved? So you can make investments for them with the investment fund and grow the project going forward.
Yeah, I think when I'm muted, I hear you fine. I will be muting whenever you ask. I hear you fine now. So we already have a lot of fiat investors. 3 or 4 of them have already joined. The rest, we're keeping them, let's say, for BSC and moving on. Well, it is quite easy, to be honest, to attract main big investors, because in the real world, as I used to say, even the biggest funds in the world, the ones that you may know, like BlackRock or Goldman Sachs, and etc., they're giving a ROI of like 7 or 8% per year. So the fiat investors we were already involved with, when we told them or offered them 15% every 45 days, to be honest, they found it too good to be true. But since we already had the connections and managing part of their portfolio, it's quite easy to just move them in whenever we think so that it should happen. So the answer is we have fiat investors, some of them, like few tens of thousands in USD, who joined. The community knows we shared with that, even that knowledge, although it would mean that it would push the price, and it did. We keep having meetings almost every 3 weeks with many other fiat investors who will be joining in every step, but we want to do gradually, because in order to take them in, we will have to have, as I said, options, which we're not really having yet on Breeze. That's why many of them will join after BSC and maybe even after summer. In terms of marketing and general things to attract the general crypto world or other kind of investors, because we are connected to the real world and we're doing it already, as I said. We have a lot of campaigns with press releases. We have online campaigns in Telegram as well as social media. We are in discussion with two marketing agencies which are exclusive to crypto projects. I hope that by the end of the month and before even the launch of round 2 early July, we will have decided which of the two marketing agencies we will go with. Moreover, we do have already discussions for the launch of the NFT fund part, which will be the biggest part of the fund, to be honest, in late summer, early September, with, again, venture capitalists who are interested in that already, connected to our fiat investors. And there we are discussing the millions, not in the tens or in the hundreds of thousands, which will also be supported by above the line real life marketing actions and plan. We have a real life marketing team working on those, and one extra lady who had an interview today to be joining and connecting the online and the real world. So we have a lot of things behind the scene running in all aspects.
Great, quite well. And yeah, going back to earlier on, I was asking about the Whalemaker peer-to-peer asset platform. If we could go into details for investors, I think investors worldwide compare the performance of hundreds of successful cryptocurrency traders and mirror their trades automatically to their accounts.
The P2P platform is something that is in the future. Currently, the only way this way of functioning is under the way of buying, staking, and joining fund round pools. There is no actual platform being available right now for P2P trading.
I see. But can we go into how you actually, look at projects, and in the future you're looking to come over to the BSC with the bridge, and then you'll be picking out so many projects per month. Will it be, or will it be? Did you say a 15-day where you stake, and how does the staking work? Will it be just locked for 15 days, or can you take your money in and out? Is there any tax going into the when you stake your funds on the Whalemaker project?
Well, there is a main pool, as I said, which is the main fund pool, and there is a 15-day pool, so people can stake those who lose their main fund pools. We will expanding the pools, and the same pools will exist in the BSC chain. We will be giving more options, probably after round 2, that there will be pools with different percentages in ROI and different risk, let's say, assessment. Like low, medium, and high, which is something that our fiat investors have already requested, and it is in our plans. Concerning the fee, we do not have a tax to stake. There is a penalty if you try to unstake, which is built in by Sphinx Labs, and that's a penalty rather than to make people not unstake. There is a small performance fee which is implemented in all Sphinx Labs pools, which I believe it is 2%, but that's for all Sphinx Labs pools. I think it's not something specific for WMF, we don't have a fee for anyone to stake or unstake ourselves.
Okay, I see. And for investors, if the project's not launched, and do you actually approach this project for maybe whitelist spots? So investors on top of from the investment fund, they can also get whitelist spots and invest in the projects that you find that are quite promising.
That's a very good question. That's a request we already have. We used to do that before WMF as a group. Right now, to be honest, it would be, while still in the bridge chain, it would be quite risky to do such a recommendation. First of all, because we would be giving like inside info on what people to buy, because as I said, even 5 or 10,000 buy will make coins price spike. On the other hand, we are discussing about the future. It is in the discussion since last week that it arose. The possibility to have some kind of VIP groups based on WMFs we are holding after round 2, late summer, where we will be sharing only with a limited group of people or very experienced traders. So we don't want people to lose money, right? Suggesting a project and controlling someone's clicks on buy and sell is totally different. I mean, you can suggest to someone a very successful project which can go 300% up, but if the person does not click, he does not sell, he does not exit at that point, and the project goes down, then the same thing that produces money for us can produce a great loss for some of our investors. So it's a quite risky part. We are having a discussion about it. We will be taking the decision on how to act and if we should offer such advice or intel, let's say, to a VIP part of investors in the future, in the next 2 months. It shall be announced in our weekly report should that happen, along with the revision we're doing on our roadmap, because we're 2 months ahead and we need to adjust many things too early.
Okay, great. Well, and with the investment fund, when it makes a profit, how is the profits broke down? Does it all go back to the investors, or do you do like buyback and burns, or put some towards marketing if you make a big profit on a project?
We don't do burns. The buybacks are a part of our discussion. Again, after late summer and after we launch on BSC, so the amounts are bigger. Right now, we are distributing 100% of the extra profit, as mentioned in our weekly reports, to our investors. The target is from round 2 onwards, and once the fund becomes in the hundreds of thousands, to be able to achieve the set targets with maximum 50% of the amount given to our investors, and the rest 50% to be used apart for marketing, and the better part of it for building up the fund to higher initial capital so it can produce more profit with less percentage need. For example, 1 million USD can produce with just 5%, 50,000 for our investors. Whereas right now we're hardly using our own money and pre-sale money, which is like 100,000, mostly used from us, to produce 50,000. I hope you get how important it is for the fund to build up.
Yeah, sure, that's fair enough. And who is going out there and looking for the projects to use the investment funds to buy into promising projects? Is it just you, White Whale, or is there a core team that have discussions and decide where to put the assets?
The team has, apart from me, in the real world, another 3+1 financiers. Right now, because we're on Breeze chain, and to be honest, our financiers have nothing to do with the Breeze chain. It was even a surprise to them that we launched a Breeze chain. I'm the one who decided the 2 projects we bought in during pre-sale. Concerning BSC, Yes, there will be a meeting every 48 hours in the week, in the weekdays at least, that we will be analyzing projects on BSC to make the final decision based on some KPIs which have to do with team, community, tokenomics, and everything that has to be analyzed in order to invest in a project. All the activities are being done even right now by those financiers and not by me. I mean, the arbitrage and any other kind of opportunity like liquidity mining that can happen with the current funds we're having.
Okay, great, White Whale. And if new investors are coming into the community, do you sort of do tutorials and maybe chats in the VC to educate them on any pitfalls to avoid, in crypto, and how to invest, with less risk of losing the money?
Well, the education part is something that we have been doing, to be honest, as a group in the 2 months prior to WMF while it was prepared, and it was quite successful. As I said before, the general ideas and the general education is something that we like, and we will keep on doing and implementing in an even more professional way, because we think we're offering something to the community, just like the WMF is offering something to the community in reality, because nobody's guaranteeing profit, to be honest. Usually you are being offered tokens of the same token, causing inflation and mostly problems. The suggestions part, as also discussed earlier, I'm not sure we should do it because it creates risk. The general education part, even in a more professional way, yes, we will be implementing in the near future for those who are interested, and for free, of course.
Great, White Whale. And now, I can open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question for the Whalemaker team here. White Whale, go ahead.
Oh yeah, hey Glenn, I've been listening in, and I love the fact that you guys are partnered with Sphinx. I know there are partners as well, and they're heavily involved in Bryce. But yeah, there are a few downfalls to it, as you've mentioned already. So I'm wondering, is there a timeline for the BSC launch, and will there be sort of I don't know, any benefits for the early holders on Bryce if they choose to get involved on the BSC side as well?
The deadline, the launch date has been announced for the BSC. It is this Friday, 1 o'clock, noon GMT UTC. The 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 amounts will be 200 BNB for soft cap and 400 for hard cap, all used for liquidity pools only, for liquidity for the coin to start trading on Sphinx and Pancake Swap, 50-50, nothing for us or the team. The second part of the question, there will be benefits for those holding on both chains, which will be announced just the 1st of July.
Okay, cool. So benefits from Bryce will also get some incentives for the BSC launch. That's nice. And you were also I don't know, touching upon some way to reward sort of your whales or bigger holders with a private group or anything like that. So I'm wondering, are you looking to do this on the BSC side as well? And how can is it only through like these sort of private groups, sort of alpha groups, or are you looking at some other ways? Because you've also mentioned that you're looking at tiers for the staking, right? And if, say, you're gonna do a more risk-avert staking tier, what will that mean? Will you provide some reports for people to say, okay, there's like a lot more risk, so you have to be careful and all that?
Well, the tiers will be offering, although that's a discussion for the future, and we will be doing it extensively before round 3. The tiers will be offering greater profit, but a higher risk on whether the profit will be realized. There will be no risk ever, as people are just taking their BSC, their WMF, sorry, uh, but they're just doing that, right? They're staking it. They're not giving us extra monies, as we haven't opened up slots, etc., etc. So the risk will be the risk of delivering or not delivering the extra profit of the extra profit for those choosing the tiers, right? They're not really risking anything.
Okay, okay,
Now,
gotcha,
concerning
gotcha. Yeah,
the
so it's
question,
yeah, so it's
yeah,
more whether they're getting that juicy 15, 20% for sure, or maybe risk getting a 30 to 40%, or maybe just 2% instead of that. Yeah, I get it.
correct.
It sounds good.
And the first part of your question about the private groups, as I said, it's something that we have been asked to make some VIP in the future groups. It's something that it is under discussion. There is no final decision about it yet. I consider it a little bit premature. As I said, we are ahead of our roadmap, but we don't know, want to make rash decisions. Uh, as the advisory part and information part can lead to more problems than goods, because the info itself doesn't always mean that someone will make the profit he expects to. So it's something premature. We will be reviewing it within the next weeks to decide if that's going to be something beneficial for the community.
Yeah, yeah, true. And as you've mentioned earlier, it could be a risk to the point where if you do have sort of a group and then they can, I don't know, invest a lot more money, or I don't know, offset the model that you're running on, it could be, detrimental to the project. So you have to be really careful. And just one more thing from my side, I'm also curious about the reports that you've mentioned that at the end of each period you're going to give out a report. How detailed will that report be? Will you give people I don't know, full access to what you guys been doing, or will it be sort of like an overview, sort of like yeah, this project, that project, and that's it? Or will it be like this was the decision making, this is why we chose them, and then this is the yield?
The weekly report, which is already live, because the report we're giving is weekly. It's not just once at the end of the fund, and there has been discussion about it, if we mention the projects or not. The answer is no, we do not mention the projects we have bought in the weekly report for the reasons I explained earlier, plus due to the fact that we might have even open positions there. It does mention the amount of profit that it has been realized the past week, and the way we have realized that profit. The project names are not announced. They will be announced at the end of its fund round by just stating the names,
Okay,
either
gotcha.
BRI,
hmm
BSC.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. All right. Yeah, thank you. Sounds good.
Welcome.
Thank you for the questions, Acti. Let's open it up to community investors. Syed, you had a question for White Whale at Whale Maker. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so on your white paper, I've read that investors worldwide can compare the performance of the 100 of the successful cryptocurrency traders and mirror their trades automatically to their user account. So I was wondering that from where will you be getting all the data for this trade data, I mean, and portfolios of the successful crypto traders?
To be honest, this is an internal procedure right now. As I said, the discussions and the way we evaluate the projects is not being shared. And the platform mentioning something for the future that for now will stay internal. As I said, we have some doubts as to whether it should be shared and how it will be shared and if it used properly. Because right now, the model of WMF producing the fund and taking the action seems the safest both for us and for the community. We are taking the info from every place possible. Either it is economic intel related to a project, either it is from traders that are using strategies in many other exchanges, or real finance people who are connected to us, and they use similar strategies to the one we are using, along with the historic results on those strategies. But as I said, once again, we are not sharing those yet. We have real doubts if we should ever share or keep the very successful model we're having for 1 month, which provides safety for the investor and therefore for us and the project itself.
Got it. It's totally understandable. Okay. So I was also wondering that will the traders whose trading patterns or the data is mirrored by the investors, they also be getting some incentives from your platform? How will that work?
Well, the incentive is the ROI we're giving, or APR, if you want to adjust it to the year, of 120% APR or 15% profit ROI. But the incentive itself, apart from the ROI, is holding the coin, and that the coin's value is appreciated because of the positive results of the fund. It's as simple as I said, and as complicated as that. There are two
Oh,
ways to the value, and the second is the guaranteed payment of the profit on a non-inflationary token, since, as I said, the payments are in other coins, and maybe in the near future stable coins also for both chains, since Breeze will be implementing hopefully within the next days, and that is also under a discussion. So these are the two ways we are giving profits to the investors and incentive to buy in.
got it. Final quick question. So on your roadmap, it's mentioned about your charity fund, and the community will be deciding the charities. I was wondering that have you yet decided that which charity cause you will be making donations to?
No, we haven't, to be honest. There are many things that we would like to help with. We will give some options for the community to decide when the time comes at the end of the year, hopefully. And we're also would be very happy, apart from the profit making for our investors, to be able to give a substantial amount, much more than we have initially indicated, because in the end, we are all humans and we should be trying to help one each other, which is not something that's really happening. Many people are even asking me in private months ago, and especially the last weeks, why I'm even using our personal money to make profit for others. And I said, the answer is because I can, which is usually not the case. So the charities will be decided when the time comes. We have many ideas. The community will listen to the ideas and decide.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for explaining that. Thank you. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you for the question, Syed. Let's move to Asia. You had a question for White Whale here at Whalemaker. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, I have read on your white paper that Whalemaker is offering strong APY through staking and unique potential crypto fund investment returns. I want to know that what minimum amount of users need to invest to be eligible for crypto fund investments returns, and do users have to invest using your native token, or users can also invest BRISE token for slots?
The minimum guaranteed amount, which we're already surpassing though in fund round one, is 15%. The minimum amount as an amount does not exist. It can be, well, as little as few USD. The way to invest is, yes, by buying our native token in the current form, and after the NFT round, it will be possible to also buy slots with stable coins and other coins.
Understood. Okay, I've also read on your white paper that monthly slots will be limited and can only be as an amount maximum equal to the whale makers users will hold. I want to know that will there be any limit on maximum number of users can invest in a single slot?
Correct. From round 3 onwards, in order to be able to buy a slot worth, as I said, in USDT, like 5,000 USDT, you will have to hold the equal amount, at least 5,000 USDT worth of WMS. No, multiple users cannot be sharing the same slot. Uh, I remember our dad saying that wouldn't be really very practical tech-wise, but there will be the minimum amount to enter on the slot, at least on the uh, lowest of the 3 tiers, will be so low that even with uh, maybe 100 USD, you can enter. You can buy a slot. You will be able to buy a slot.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
Thank you for the questions.
Let's move on to Venice. You had a question for White Whale at Whalemaker. Go ahead. No, you're not coming through. Let's see. Antstrike. Antstrike, you had a question
Can you hear
for
me,
White
Glenn?
Whale? Go ahead. I can, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, for sure, every project were not created that easy. I just want to ask, what are your biggest struggles or challenges so far, if there's any, and how did you resolve it?
Well, to be honest, our biggest struggle, as we're mainly, as I said, financiers, what we need to work and create profit is choices. We need a lot of price movements, up or down. It doesn't really matter, which is also a positive thing, because we can make profit with people, for people, by shorting coins. Although that doesn't sound nice either, but that's reality, and we don't lie to people. That we only buy coin and wait to go 1000% up. So our biggest struggle right now, at least for this test period, let's say, was exactly that: options. We have very little options. That's why we're moving to a chain where we can have thousands, literally, of options. And well, that was our main concern and still remains, although the fund is running smoothly. And since we're halfway through on fund round 1, I believe we have managed to fight and win against our fears and struggles already.
Okay, sir. And last question, what is your strategy for building a strong community? What services do you provide to your community, if there's any? Thank you.
We do have a community uh, on Telegram or social media. On social media, we have 17,000 followers. We have nearly 2,000 people every day joining our Telegram channel. What we provide, what we provide is info, clarity, and a future to follow with guaranteed profits.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Glenn.
Okay, thank you, Antstrike. Let's move on. Venice, are you there?
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
Ken. Okay. Here's my question. Actually, I read on your white paper that you will support the good projects launching on BRC by providing strong investment funding. So I was wondering on what conditions you will provide them with strong investment funding. I mean, will you also ask them for giving you some certain percentage of tokens from total supply, or what will you get in return from them?
No, we have not been in that kind of discussions, because that would create permanent positions for us, taking a part of someone's token, even if it is the best. We cannot really have such uh, permanent positions. What we mean by supporting is that we are joining pre-sales on projects, meaning that we are supporting for their pre-sale to be achieved this year. We are supporting by buying positions early on, which causes a very positive hype. especially for projects that usually can have like zero even volume in the beginning. So we're giving them volume and partial liquidity. But as said, within these few weeks of running, we have done so without marking who those projects are. Once the Breeze network and ecosystem is more mature, uh, yes, we will be contacting owners, letting them know that we will be joining as support, or we would be keeping some positions for some weeks, as said, or even a full fund round, like up to 6 weeks. And that is the way we will be supporting and showing our appreciations to good and new projects.
Okay, got it. And I also read that holders can buy in investment slots. So does it mean these investment slots are for those other projects your team has hunted to invest in? And will user invest himself, or you will invest holders staked tokens yourself and just reward them?
No, the slots will not be for any specific project because that would be like asking from the investor to take his own risk. And as I said, this is not the purpose. The purpose of WMF is to protect the investor and make the calls on his side. On round two and onwards, because the question is similar to the one answered earlier, the slots will be giving different options in terms of ROI and possibilities, time lock possibilities, ROIs, and a little bit higher risk on if the profit will be delivered or not. But no, the slots will be not like buying one of the projects we have bought in, because that would be too risky and transferring the responsibility to the investor, which is not what we're trying to do.
Okay, and I also want to know about your tiering membership system. I was wondering, will there be any competitions through which you can pick random winners to give them the membership of your higher tiers as well? Like if they are limited higher tiers, so you can pick them through competitions.
Good question, honestly. We have been doing some kind of competitions already because we like giving things to the community. Never WMFs, even in our competitions. We only pay in Breeze and even stable coins. We will have future competitions, either they're buyback competitions or quiz even competitions, because we like those kind of things just for the community. Yes, there will be also competitions with something we have never discussed before, but nice question. That we will even give NFTs or spots in the thousands of USDs worth for members of the community. The form and how, let's leave something for the future also.
Okay, and one last quick question from my side. I'm curious to know that as for a level 5 membership, if some of the holders don't participate in the voting or governance of the project, then will you take any action against them or downgrade their membership levels if they are just not participating in the voting or governance of the project?
Why would we downgrade? Sorry, I lost you. I didn't understand the part of the question.
Yeah,
If we,
I I read that a level 5 membership people will have access to the governance of the project, and they also can vote for different situations for your project. So I was asking that if they don't participate in the voting or governance, then will you downgrade their membership levels because they are not participating in the voting and governance?
where did you read that? Uh, doesn't. Yep.
Yeah, I actually saw the video that is on your website. It says that level 5 membership will have voting and governance of the project. Will have access to the voting and governance of the project.
Maybe the video knows more than I do. I need to ask our marketing. We don't have We haven't set up the levels yet. And as I said, this is a discussion that was yet to be made and finalized. So I cannot answer that about the upgrading or downgrading the levels.
Yeah, it's completely okay. Okay, I just saw the 5 levels of memberships and your tiering system. So I just asked that question because of that. So thank you so much for answering all
Maybe
my
it's
other
how.
questions.
Thank you for the questions, Venice. Let's move on to Western Beast. You had a question for White Whale here at Whalemaker. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Because of time, I'll limit my questions and ask the rest in your Telegram group. The first question I wanted to ask was, I saw it on your white paper about your whale maker model. Now, one fascinating aspect of this is they said that the currency will be backed by both crypto and real world assets. This is the first of its kind, and it makes it unusually very stable. Please, can you tell us exactly how you you want to attain this symbiotic integration into your project?
Yeah, if I understood well the question, how we make the best of the fiat and the crypto world together. Well, that's by joining and using knowledge that's coming both from crypto investors like myself and another two people, along with the data that comes with it, and real life financiers who are involved in this, as well as investors likewise. We're already using and managing portfolio of fiat investors, and we are combining, as I said, the moments of those assets being entered in the WMF part, either price-wise or fund-wise, to support us, along with the actual crypto investors joining, so we can make the best of it. Find the balance that there is there and use the best of each world to make and deliver the profit we're supposed to deliver.
That's very unique, very, very unique. The next feature that caught my eye was the fact that you'll be offering liquidity aggregation. Now, this is a very important factor that traders usually consider before making trading decisions. So I wanted asking, do you actually have experts in this particular field? And what relationship do you have between your project and those experts? Are they contracted or are they part of your team?
The who I really didn't understand. What if they are part of the team? The financiers are part of our team. The fiat investors are part of our investment actual portfolio real life that we're handling. So
Okay.
one part is part of the team and the other is part of our funds that we are managing anyways outside WMF.
All right. Final question. You said when you made mention of investors, I usually categorize them into three. We're talking about the beginner traders, those who are just learning, the intermediate traders, and the professionals. What aspects do you have an educational channel for the beginners and or an educational demo video? You already said these people can actually choose between the best of them. So would you have a recommendation system so that the those who want to make a choice would actually make a choice between the best from a higher grade to a lower grade?
Well, as I said, we will be giving the options in the next rounds, but it has not been yet decided if it will be hauled out in the public to make its own choices, because it creates an issue, both practical and ethical, for us on how good the investors, regardless of what they choose, they will be able to make the profit that we would like them to make. Meaning we will be implementing the tiers so they can have options on what kind of ROI they would like to go for and how risky would that be. But as said, I'm not very sure or very open to sharing specific projects or specific coins or specific strategies to follow. Like how can you educate a person enough so he can do either margin trading or liquidity mining or arbitrage? Like you can have we have our people working in different time zones 24/7 to find the arbitrage, simply different prices between the same coins in different exchanges to make the profit for the fund. How can you educate someone enough or wake him up at 3 a.m. to do the 2-3 clicks that he has to do in order to understand how to make the profit? It's very risky. We will most probably stick with giving the different tiers, but not putting the people themselves to do what we're doing.
All right, I really appreciate your answers. I'll ask the rest of my questions in the Telegram group. I wish you guys the best, and I hope you guys stay bullish and go moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Western Beast, for their questions. We're running out of time here, but Moses had his hand up for a while. So, Moses, you can ask one question there to White Whale at Whalemaker. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, all. Okay, thank God that I'm the last to ask a question, and my question relates to the cryptocurrency space in general. And yes, crypto as a whole is a home for all of us as investors. And if we're going to integrate a new token into our home, we need to know what are the positive effects that the token will bring to our home. So my question is basically, how will Whalemaker change the landscape of cryptocurrency space in the present that we are in right now and in the future to come?
Well, that's a nice question, if I understood well. WMF, apart from its good intention for charities and other things, is trying to do what crypto is supposed to do, and this is adoption. I don't want to quote someone specifically who I really like, which is CZ, but he keeps saying and saying and saying, and that for me it's what all crypto people should be saying, that adoption from the mass, from the mainstream world is the most important thing in crypto. Well, from our birth as a coin, or even before our birth as a coin, and the descriptions and answers I've given you, gentlemen and ladies, I think this is exactly what we're doing. We're taking people partially from the real world, the fiat world, which before us, and although we were managing part of their funds, they weren't really aware, or they were too afraid to join the crypto, and offer them the safety, because they know us real world, right? Not over Telegram, and with real results for their portfolios, to enter the crypto world rather than just buying stocks or listening to whatever crap, I'm sorry about the expression, the main media is telling them. So I think what we want to offer and what we can contribute to the crypto world is bring on more people from the fiat people and help 1% out of the 1,000 in the adoption of the crypto world.
Yeah, that's great, White Whale. I had to mute Moses because his mic was giving feedback, but it's been great speaking to you today from the Whalemaker project. As we always say, for Coin Talk community investors, AMAs are for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. You can check out their website, white paper, and the official community socials in our main chat there. Check out the project and join the community. Yeah, and it's been great speaking to you today, White Whale. Yeah, really solid project with the investment fund, and I'm looking forward to the future as you move out and branch into the BSC as well.
Thank you very much, Glenn, for the hosting, the support. Apologies earlier for losing some part of the questions. It was about muting. Once I muted, I was hearing everything better, to be honest. Maybe something wrong with my PC. I want to thank everyone in the community and as well Coin Talk for hosting us. Hope to see you around, and also during our BSC launch sale just this Friday. Thank you, everybody.
Well, yeah, there's sometimes feedback, and yeah, I can remember that in the future now if someone's speaking and yeah, they can't hear me, then yeah, I can get them to mute the mic, and it's all good. Thank you very much for coming. We've got to spin the wheel now for 2 lucky winners. It's $50 each.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen here. Can you see it, Glenn? Is it coming through?
Yeah, it's up
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
all right. Let me shuffle it a bit, and we'll do 2 spins for 2 lucky winners, $50 each. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. We had some really interesting questions from the community as well. And thank you to the Whale Maker team for being here with us. It looks like with their fund, they're trying to do exactly what the name says, to be honest. And it's really exciting. And I know some people, may look at a 10, 15, 20% gain per month like not a lot. But if you compare it to anything in the traditional markets, it's huge, actually. So I encourage you guys to actually, take a look at the website at least. Go through the white paper, and if it's something you like, if it's something you can get behind, then definitely engage. And if you have more questions, of course, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to answer all your questions if you head over to the Telegram. So thank you everybody for coming today, and thank you to the Whale Maker team for being here with us today. It's really been awesome talking to them. They're building something super cool.